Hey friends, it's Gina. Welcome to the Rebookery channel. Today I'm going to do a journal spread about my very first diary. This was my one and only diary that I had that was a true diary. After I used this, I eventually became a rebel and I found an old science textbook and I swiped it from school. And then that became my diary, but that was more when I was like in 7th and 8th grade. So this was my one and only diary. I think I got this when I was in, I want to say 5th grade. I think yeah, because I was 11 years old and I got it for my birthday. And I loved it. I think it was before Hello Kitty, or this was like some knockoff brand of Hello Kitty, or I don't know, but it always reminds me of Hello Kitty. But anyway, somehow I have held on to this thing for all these years, and I recently found it again when I was doing my series Finding Your Style, and this was in my container of journals and mini books, and I pulled it out and I looked at it. And usually I don't like to look at it because I don't like to read like what I wrote, because oh my gosh, it was so stupid, and you know, it was 11-year-old stuff and it wasn't even interesting stuff. It was the same thing over and over again. But what I loved about it was all of my stickers. So back when I was in, you know, 5th grade, 6th grade, one of my most fun things to do was to walk, because we could walk everywhere back then, walk to my downtown or to a local shopping center in my town and go to the Hallmark store or the drugstore, and they would have stickers. And that was like the best thing in the world, was to go and to buy a pack of stickers. That was such a treat. And so I put a bunch of stickers in here, and that's what drew me back to this, was all these cool stickers. And just, it brings me back to so much. And like the scratch and sniff stickers, oh my gosh, my gosh, my gosh, my gosh. And then look, Shirt Tales. Do you remember Shirt Tales? Oh my gosh, I remember like we would watch them on Saturday mornings. And then I had a Shirt Tales coloring book, and oh my god, I love Shirt Tales. So in this disgusting mess of a diary, oh my god, look at my handwriting, it was so awful. In this disgusting mess of a diary, I actually put stickers, and I thought that was so cool, like a Pac-Man sticker, Snoopy, and it just, you know, I read some of the stuff I wrote, and it, oh my god, I was a disturbed little 11-year-old. My parents had divorced and remarried, and so there was a lot of, you know, just stuff that I wrote about. And then it was like just ridiculous, because it was like every other day I loved this boy, and then I didn't love this boy, and then I loved this boy and I didn't love this boy. And I actually sat down and read it the other night, and I went all the way through 5th grade, and I think I did a little bit in 6th grade. And then my very last entry was when I entered what I'd like to call the dark years of my life. And well, there are several dark years of my life, but the dark years of my teenage life. And that was the very last entry was me writing about this boy that I loved, a new boy that I loved. And that was the last entry, which is interesting because looking back now, that was the beginning of the dark years. So anyway, aside from all the writing, I do love these stickers, and just, oh my gosh, that is just so cool how I put stickers in here, and I was able to hang on to this for such a long time. So I got online and tried to find, I got a big bevy of stickers. I think I told you about this. I got a big bevy of stickers at an estate sale this summer, and it was all old stickers. So then that got me going. I got online and I found a really cool Etsy shop that sells a lot of vintage stickers. And so I ordered some of those. And so then I organized all my stickers, which I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but this is just a big container, and I just kind of organized them so that I could, I don't know, just actually sit here and look at them is what I really want to do. But now I want to start using them. I want to put them on a layout. So that's what I'm thinking I'm gonna do today. I'm going to do a layout about this sad little diary and incorporate some of my stickers that I got, and maybe write a little bit about why my diary was so ridiculous, and you know, good stuff like that. So I am going to fast forward and just kind of let you guys see my process. So I'm just going to flip through my little journal and find the next available page. I am loving working in this journal. I love that when I made it, I just put in all kinds of different papers and pages. And it's like every time I open it up and I want to start a new journal page, I get excited when I see what kind of paper I have to work with. And it's kind of a challenge to figure out, you know, what do I want to do to that paper? How am I going to make that background paper work for what I want to journal about? So for this page, I just picked, I think it's a page from an old art book, but I knew I was going to cover it up anyway, so it didn't really matter what the background was. But I did like the yellow trim that I had sewn on the left-hand side. So I have some stationery that I bought from Amazon, and I want to use it because just the colors and the design remind me of, even though it's not vintage, it does remind me of back in the 80s when I would go and buy my stickers and stuff. So I want to use that paper. And then there were these little strips of paper that went around the stationery when I got it from the package, and so I'm going to use those because I thought they were just kind of cute and I didn't really want to throw them away. So I was thinking about using a picture from back in the 1980s of me, and just happened to find this picture of me and my brother and my stepbrother. And it's going to be perfect because this is the exact time period that I was writing in that journal. And it's actually the perfect picture for what I want to journal about. So that picture and some of those little Hello Kitty game cards, which are not vintage, but they seem to work perfect. I think I'm going to start with that. Now, the Hello Kitty game card, I was able to pull apart because it was kind of slick on the front and or on both sides, and I knew it would be hard to glue. And when I pulled it off, I realized that back had a G. So I'm going to go ahead and use that because that'll represent my name. And of course, you know, when you're in 5th grade, you're all about your name and writing your name and making the swirlies and the bubble letters and all that good stuff. So I'm going to use that. And then I have a little envelope here that I'm just going to stick the picture on. I actually sewed it to a piece of pink tissue paper, and then I just put it on the lip of that envelope and then stuck another Hello Kitty card on the back of that. So that little envelope is going to become a great place for my journaling. Now it is time to go shopping for my stickers, and I am so excited because this is what I've been waiting for, is to dig into my stash and just kind of find those little visuals that remind me of this time period and when I was 11 years old. So it's gonna look like I'm just kind of doing a sticker dump here where I'm just gonna put all kinds of different stickers on the page. But actually, as I'm going through this process and I'm pulling them out of these little categories that I've sorted them in, I actually start to get really intentional with what stickers I use and why I'm putting it down on that paper. So really every sticker that I'm going to put down on this page actually has meaning. There's actually some symbolism to each sticker, and I don't realize that as I'm doing it. I can tell you that now as I'm going back and doing the voiceover. It wasn't anything I set out to do. It's just in my head. It just automatically kind of happened that way. And that's something that I've noticed has happened a lot with my journaling over time, is that every little piece has become very intentional, very deliberate. And, it wasn't like that when I first started journaling, but now it has actually become that way. And it's kind of cool. And I can't explain how I got to that point. Other than it just took lots and lots of practice and lots of journaling. And I finally got to that point where every single thing I do has some sort of meaning to it. So as I'm going through this and putting my stickers on, I kind of figure out that my left-hand side is going to be about me when I was a little girl. And then the right-hand side, which I didn't even really intend on going over into the right-hand side, but the right-hand side is going to be as I started to transition into a teenager, because that was kind of the struggle that I was going through at this time period. So the stickers on the right-hand side are going to be more grown-up type of stickers, more about boys and things like that, whereas the stickers on the right-hand or left-hand side are going to be more little girl stickers, things that I was interested in before I really kind of got into my teenage years. And, it's just one of those things, but this layout actually turned out to be what I thought was just going to be something fun and silly. Actually turned out to be one of those deep meaning layouts where I had some journaling I needed to get out, and I didn't even realize it. But yeah, it actually was about a turning point in my life, and that diary, now that I went back and looked at it, was actually a turning point in my life. I had no idea, didn't even realize it until I went back and read it. But it was me leaving my little girl years and getting into my teenage years, and just the whole struggle that I was going to go through during that time period. So that's kind of what this was about. And sticking those stickers down was really kind of therapeutic, because it was being able to go back and touch on all that fun stuff that I did and I had and I loved when I was that little 10-year-old, 11-year-old. My Hello Kitty, my strawberry shortcake, my shirt tails. And then as I transitioned into teenage and things like that, and it wasn't Hello Kitty anymore, it was boys that were hunks and cute and wearing clothes that had name brands and stuff like that. So sticking those stickers down really made me think about it, and I thought, well, that's what I'm going to journal about, because that's what's going through my head. So I went to that little diary and pulled out some of the pages at the back of the diary that I hadn't used, and I just kind of used a pencil and wrote some things that were on my mind about that time period. And as I was writing, I stuck some stickers in too. So like there's one I have to go back and glue because it was kind of falling off. So yeah, that was kind of some powerful writing, and I didn't even realize that was going to happen. So I tuck it in that little envelope. And at this point, I actually kind of thought that I was done.
And I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to add some finishing touches to this, go back and add some marker. And isn't it fitting that I'm using just a big old fat pink Crayola marker, because that's what I used at that time period. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, no, I don't think I'm done. I think I have a few more things I want to say. So I found this sticker that came off of one of those sticker sheets, and it absolutely has no stick left on it at all. So I have to use my tape runner. But it said, be courageous. And I thought I wasn't going to use it because I thought, oh, that doesn't have any place on this layout. And after I did all of that, I was like, no, you know what? I was courageous during that time period. That was a really icky time for me. I was very lost, and I felt very alone. And so yeah, I put that sticker on there. Go me. Okay, so now I'm going to pull out another sheet of that stationery paper because I felt like there was a little bit more I needed to say. And I'm just going to write down a few things. I'm going to pull out some letter stickers and add those stickers to it, because one of the terms back in this time period was if you had a boyfriend, you were going with them. Like, I don't know where you were going, but you were going with them. So that was the words I wanted to put, going with. And then added one more little sticker there, and yeah, I'm done. So now my layout is complete. I've gotten some stuff off my chest that I didn't even know I had. I was able to use some of my stickers. And yeah, I love the end result. So guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this process. And if you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with a friend, and have a great rest of the day. Bye.